was like, and I mean, he sent me the receipt, copy of the receipt, and I was like, oh, no. So, I mean, this is so important. I mean, he can lose his life, you know, from this infection that he has. And so I called him back and I said, I'm going to buy you your oils, and you are going to either send those oils back or throw them away. And because I am not going to be responsible for giving you bad information and you acting on what you thought was right. And so I bought him a kit and had it expedited to him. I mean, he got it in 2 days. And I said, call me as soon as it arrives, and in the meantime, go and find yourself pipettes and some capsules. Go to your pharmacy, have them order them for you. They can have it there next day, and then we'll start. So that was Saturday. We were driving down to Charlie's mom's house, and I spent, I don't know how much time on the phone with him while we were driving, telling him, okay, you're going to do this and this and this, and he was going to use thieves, oregano, and thyme in one capsule, and I think it was 4 drops a piece of each one of those. Thieves, oregano, no, it was oregano, thyme, and frank in one capsule, 4 drops each. And then 4 hours later, he did a capsule filled with thieves. And then 4 hours later, he goes back to the frankincense, oregano, and thyme. And he's going to do that every 4 hours for 7 days. And he's also going to diffuse lemon, which if you remember the Staph aureus, he's going to diffuse lemon constantly. I said, carry it with you, because he still has to work. He's not married. He has to keep his insurance. So he's like having to work, you know, throughout all of this. So he's dragging his diffuser around wherever he goes. And so I checked in with him about halfway through it, and I said, well, how are you doing? I said, are you burping at pizza or anything? And he said, no, it's not too bad. I mean, I really thought it might be hard on his stomach, because that's a lot of oil. I mean, he's a big man. He's like Grizzly Adams' big man. But he's, you know, he said no. He said no, it's good. So then I talked to him, not yesterday, but last Monday, and he had his doctor's appointment. And the doctor said, he said, I'm not going to tell you that you don't have your infection, because staph, the MRSA is really hard to treat. He said, but I think you're looking really good. And I mean, you know, and he said, I don't need to see you for several weeks unless you feel something. And so he's awesome. Scheduled for hip replacement in 2 months, because he has to build up all this muscle again. And I was like, all right, you got to get on the inner defense, and you stay on that, because we don't want you to get sick at all until after you're out of the hospital from the hip replacement, and then we'll talk about it. But the other interesting thing, and I totally was not expecting this, the week that he was on those capsules and the diffuser, he said, you know, he's been on OxyContin and hydrocodone all this time, and he said, you know what? He said I felt really good. He said the strongest thing I've been on has been a leave this week. So that was a bonus, because I wasn't even expecting that. I was just trying to get rid of the infection, and you know, and that's, to me, I mean, ultimately, I think probably the oils probably saved his life, because if you know anything about MRSA,
terrible.
It could take his life.
Yeah, it could take his life. I mean, and it's in your hip. It's not like you can just cut the knee off. I mean, you got to have that. So.
Awesome.
Was he still on the IV antibiotics when he was doing that? And did the doctor say
He was not on IV antibiotics.
So they had stopped that because
They had stopped it because they didn't know what else to do.
So what did the doctor think? Did he
I have
ask?
no idea. I didn't even want to go there because, you know, I struggle with this because I have to be so careful as a pharmacist. And again, I mean, I'm so thankful that y'all are here, and really, I mean, I don't know you very well, I don't think, but hello. But it's,
We've met you.
oh, okay, I can, yeah, there's a glare and all I can see is a halo around your head.
She's an angel.
Myself,
She's an
My
angel.
arms hold it up most of the time.
Anyway, you know, I struggle because I'm at work and, you know, people will come to me all the time and they'll say, I don't know what to do, I've done this and this, and I really feel like, I mean, I really can't say, you need to try Lingering Living Oils. I mean, I can't say that, I just can't say that. But what I do is I send them to the produce department, I send them, I mean, I have a whole list of natural things that I say, well, try this and try this and try this, and but it's like, I mean, it's an emotional struggle for me because I can't, I can't.
Can't you say, call Cinda, call Terry, call, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I might be able to do that at some point, but, you know, cause I can't do, as much as I want to,
Yeah.
I can't, you know, and that's so unfortunate that, something so good, you know, I mean, and thankfully, Berkshire's they do have natural lines now. They don't have essential oils, which I wouldn't use them anyway,
Yeah.
but they do have the Umeka and the Similsan products that are really good products, and there's some other newer ones that are on the natural side. But, and I try to go that route, but I frequently am sending people to the produce section to get stuff, you know, to make different things with ginger and lemon and honey, and you know, because that's how I roll.
Yeah.
You know.
I think we can figure out how to help those people. It is such a struggle sometimes, because even me, I'll be out and I'll see somebody with, you know, a real sick child, and I have a bag full of goodness that I could open up, and it is a struggle sometimes even for me, because you want to just start, you know, helping them, but then, you know, you're not always sure how the reaction is going to be, and most of the time it's okay. It's kind of like, what is that, you know? But you've got it a little bit different.
It is, and you know, I mean, and they always say you have to tell people, well, I'm not a licensed medical provider. I'm like, oh yeah, well, I kind of am. I mean, so, but I still can't say anything, you know.
Yeah.
So, anyway. So, does anybody have any questions, or can I mean, do you want to go down any bunny paths that I started to go down and then pulled myself back from?
Do these have probiotic properties?
These do not have probiotic properties. What I was alluding to is, if you can, the research is showing that these do not seem to show negative effects on good bacteria in your gut. For whatever reason, and I'm just going to call it God ordained, because there's a lot of things that just cannot be explained in the oils, and we just have to go with that with faith, because the evidence is there. You know, I mean, it works, but if you can get the antibiotics out of your gut and start drinking raw milk, eating kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and a lot of people don't like those things, and that's okay, but you need a really good, I mean, if you can find a 5-strain probiotic, that's good, because you got a bunch of bacteria. I mean, there's this one bacteria that called Firmicutes, and it's in your gut already. But if you take antibiotics for an extended period of time, and they're finding this in children, the Firmicutes will start to overpopulate. And it's not such a bad bacteria in itself. It's not like Clostridium or Staph or Strep or Candida or anything like that. But it has the ability to make you gain weight. And so they're finding that a lot of little kids now, in addition to being sedentary and, you know, on antibiotics, you're ending up with overweight little kids. So, and I might add, going full circle, the farm industry, the commercial farming industry, the bad farming industry, has been using antibiotics for about 60 years under the guise of, well, we're just keeping our animals healthy. But the reality is they're using it because they've realized that whatever it is that antibiotics, low dose antibiotics is doing to their chickens and their cows and their sheep is making them gain weight faster.
Huh, interesting.
So, I mean, there's the whole gut thing, and I'm sorry, I will email all of you my gut notes because I just don't know where they are. Anyway, but it's, and like Missy said, that one I could talk. I mean, you could see how late it would be if I went off on that trail anyway. So
It's a good one to hear, though.
I have a question about the lemon oil.
About the lemon oil?
The lemon oil, I asked you this before, we got started, I have lemon juice, like fresh squeezed lemon juice in my water. What's the difference between my lemon juice and the lemon oil?
the lemon juice is is from the pulp of the lemon. This is in the rind, and the rind is where the oil is. You're not getting any lemon oil, I don't think, in the juice. You're just getting
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah,
No, it
it's
comes
just-
from the
Just
rind.
getting
Yeah.
a flavor then?
you're just getting the flavor.
And
The
yes.
and the acid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the acid too,
Okay,
which is hard on your
right, hard on your teeth.
teeth. But it said it's like some crazy number of
43. It's like 43 lemon.
43
rinds.
lemon rinds in a cold press makes 1 bottle of lemon oil.
That's a lot.
So
When you say
lemon
bottle,
juice
how
is
big of a
good
bottle
for
are we
you.
talking? Like little bottles?
I love,
I think
I
it's
love
the
the
I think it's
flavor.
the I think it's the
Lemon juice.
15 mil.
Tasted so much
Okay.
better
Yeah,
than
this-
lemon
yeah.
oil.
like when you get your first starter kit, you get the little 5 ml bottles, and the one we didn't talk about because it comes in the starter kit is the Stress Away, which is the roller ball, and it has a little roller ball and it's pretty cool. And that one, I'll be honest, I put it on today because I was really nervous. So I sat in the corner and went like this before I started. So
I love that one. It smells so good to me.
I think it smells good too.
I do too.
So.
So what books have you read? You talked about the Bible book.
I've read the Essential Oils of the Bible. I've not read, but I've gone through it pretty detailed. The ADR, the Animal Desk Reference. Let's see here. I'm reading this one right now. It's lightweight reading.
It looks like it is.
Yes.
Good.
And I have probably read about 40 or 60, between 40 and 60 hours worth of online information that I've just been reading and pulling, and a lot of it I've printed off, and I've got it all in my bag. If anybody wants to read anything that is highly detailed, I mean, they're more than welcome to just peruse and see what they'd like to read and read it, but it's a lot. There's got another book that I read. This book is really good, and it's not really a reading book. It's like the Bible of essential oils in terms of treatments. And the group that we're in, very wisely, Young Living doesn't do this, and I really think that they should. They should include that in the kit.
Yeah.
But it's not really a Young Living book, is it? It's by
Well, there's one, the life science one, I believe, is one that Gary Young wrote.
but that the
This
Higley
one,
is not.
this one is not, but the life science one is is just a little bit more sciencey, but it does have ailments just like this one. But we gift this one now because it seems to have many more of the ailments listed. It's a little bit more user friendly.
It's and it is kind of, because I like it because if you go home with the oils and you gotta go home and go, okay, what now? What am I supposed to do now? How can I treat this? How can I treat that? And when you have that book, you just start flipping around. You're like, oh, I can do this, and then you do it and see what happens. You know.
I'll say too that we have a couple of very active Facebook pages where
Yes.
people will go on and just all the time ask questions, and you read the responses, and then you figure out what you want to do based on
Yeah,
it.
there are 2 Facebook lines, and Robin, I know you're not on Facebook, but Mel, I'm gonna use you again. Mel was not either. But you can get on Facebook without being on Facebook.
Right, I guess so.
And